Just chasing the sun, you're putting the car on your way home. Yeah, when your heart is broken, you don't know what to say. Yeah, I hear the words unspoken.
All right, and we're live on Thursday morning, coming to you from
And the music's not stopping.
Huh?
There we go.
No. Yeah, we're live coming to you from Texas and Pigeon Forge, Indiana. Once again, I'm joined by my internet personality and the obvious looks of the show, Beef Stew.
Another smooth transition there to start the show for us.
We're killing it.
we really need to decide on an amount of time we're going to run that music for, because obviously we can't debate it. We just gotta we're gonna come up with a number. But yeah, so fresh off my victory yesterday, basking in the glory of it.
You did have some measure of redemption after Cortez. He kind of hoodwinked you there. Hometown you there in Phoenix. You took down Super Trooper.
I did. It just proves that if you make them easy enough, any hack can win. But yeah, it was a good time. We Donna tells me that we had some pretty good donations, so that was good. If anybody wants to go ahead and donate, watch the content and make a donation to a really good cause, we'd definitely appreciate that.
Absolutely, and we might be able to put that link back up again. I'll see if I can put that back together. But I guess speaking of guys that are I probably want no part of on a house shot, especially since it's zone center. Our guest today at the age old 27. He's practically a senior. He's already got 13 titles, 2 majors, an ESPY award. He's 2016 Player of the Year. He has recently been named to his second Weber Cup team from Bluffton, Indiana, by way of Pigeon Forge today. His dad owns Easy Bowl, and he's the best guy on tour, not named Belmonte. All the way from Indiana, EJ Tackett. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm doing great. How y'all?
Doing pretty good, thanks, EJ. We're just trying to take it day by day. Talking of your bowling center, have you been able to open up? What rules and stuff are you having to abide by, and all that?
Yeah, so the center could have opened on June the 14th, but we would have had to put up all the plexiglass dividers and all that jazz, and it was just going to not be cost effective for us. Up in Indiana, we don't get much business in the summer, so the amount it was going to cost to put that stuff up wasn't going to equate what we could make back from it. So Dad decided to wait, and we just reopened yesterday because of Indiana had different phases going on, and he didn't have to put up all the dividers and stuff like that if he waited until after the 4th of July. So opened yesterday. I didn't talk to him yet to see how it went, but maybe I'll give him a call after we're done here.
Yeah, I actually which day would it have been? Tuesday. I went into the bowling center that I use all the time, and I couldn't get a lane, so that was pretty cool. It was actually one of the first times I wasn't pissed off that I couldn't get a lane. So we went in, and they had a senior league running, and they were playing. The seniors were doing 1 team per pair. So they had an 18-team league, so they were using 36. And just as I was about to start, a group of, I think it was 13 people turned up. So, of course, that took over the last pair, and then you couldn't use the pair in between because they're doing every other pair. So, yeah, it was one of those where you wanted to be upset, but then at the same time you were like, oh, thank God, people are back bowling. So that was definitely a fun time to see that many people out, because we actually bowl our league on a Tuesday, and we have we're doing 2 teams on a pair. It's only trios, but we do every other pair. So they've got a couple of different variations, I guess, in the bowling center of how they're doing it. But they're pretty much using every other lane like exclusively. Texas is a bit in a strange place right now with masks, though. I don't know how Indiana's going with the masks, but
I think it's just been up to proprietors themselves and businesses whether you have to wear them or not, and that's kind of how it's been down here in Pigeon Forge. I'm in Tennessee right now, and supposedly tomorrow they're implementing if you go into any place you have to wear a mask. No matter if it's a restaurant, the grocery store, whatever, you have to wear a mask inside everywhere you go.
Yeah, we've had that probably about 3 or 4 weeks, Chris. It's been like mandatory for the masks.
Only the last week here.
Oh, okay.
You know,
So
it's been suggested, but basically ignored most everywhere except for the actual employees of the businesses.
yeah, Costco, it's not ignored.
Yeah. Now it's not ignored anywhere. Now it's actually flipped the other way to where when people are wearing masks and they're kind of, what are they doing too? It's very odd now for somebody not to be wearing one. So,
but they were saying in I guess Odessa, we've got a regional coming up next week, and they had the health board or whatever it's called go in, and they were telling them that they had to be wearing masks the whole time, even when they were bowling. But in Georgetown, where I'm bowling, the health people came in, and they were like, if the people are at the table and they've got food or drink, then they don't mind if they haven't got a mask on. And then in Dallas County, they're saying something different. So it's all a bit whether you have to wear the mask just to go in, or you wear the mask the whole time, or once you're in your pair, or it's all a bit. As per normal, it's a bit of a mess.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really knows what to do, and it's changing minute by minute. So hopefully it's all settled by the Weber Cup. And speaking of that, you get to come back with a little bit different squad from the last time around. I think you and Kyle bowled together, right? But
yeah, Kyle was on the team that time. It was me, Kyle, Marshall, and Sean.
On paper, a really good team.
Yeah,
Brad Miller would have been proud of it.
In reality, I think I wasn't prepared well that time. I wasn't sure what to expect, I guess, as far as what we were bowling on. And I didn't have the right equipment with me, but I have a little bit better idea what's going on this time. So I think I'll be a little bit better prepared this time.
yeah, they've caught us with that a little bit. They've changed the rules a few times to get them a win here or there. As Stu knows. But now it's been pretty static with the 10 patterns. You know, the kind of, I don't know, last year they kind of eliminated the short pattern per se, but yeah, there you go.
Somebody from Chris Barnes' fan page, no doubt.
Yeah, there you go. That's the Dallas guy right there. So, I think it's always hard. I think the first time around, very few people really bowl great their first event. Simonson's one of the few that came out and actually kind of took it over and did really well. It's unique. It's hard to bowl one game and then sit around for 2 hours and then bowl another game. And there's some things that certainly make it harder than or different at least than what we normally do.
Right, but I'm definitely excited to be able to bowl again. I think it was 2017 when I bowled last, and I didn't bowl well, and I'm thinking, man, I might have blown my shot at bowling on this team for a while, but luckily, Grandpa Chris came through for me and got me back on the team.
Well, it's what Simonson said. Having a great captain just loosened him up.
Yeah. I don't know about all that, but yeah, I don't have to worry about bowling the third match. I know that. I think we know who's going out on the fresh, and then we can go from there. So,
hey Kelly, I beat Kyle. Didn't shoot 488.
Yeah, she's been trolling you pretty good. So I did have one question up here. I wanted to address it because I don't think the word is out yet. But Mark, it says, "Good morning. Are you still coming to San Antonio next weekend? We are not going to be able to make that. All the shutdowns and uncertainty over the last week led to Mark not being able to pull the trigger on buying a plane ticket, and so we weren't sure if people were going to show up or not show up. So we are going to postpone that and figure out a better date."
On the plus side for the people of San Antonio, they get to see me next weekend.
Well, there's that.
You notice there was a lot of crickets.
Yeah. And then they asked if I'm coming to the Villages. If they have it, I'll be there. I don't know if I'm flying or driving. It still seems like, well, I don't know. The Villages is that's their own Chaz there. So they got they have their own community. If they want to have it, I'm sure they can have it. And so
they apparently are they're right in the middle of one of the biggest hotspots, I guess.
they are, but they're also a pretty self-contained community. So you don't have to really leave, as I remember it from 20 years ago. You don't have to leave there. You can be on a golf cart and pretty much get from your house to your grocery store to your bowling center to restaurants to everything. So
And all the golf courses, all
Yeah, they bunch
72,427 of them.
and all under 6,200 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody can be Bryson DeChambeau.
That's right.
Yeah.
So EJ, as a golfer, like, is Shambo as much fun for you as it is for us? I think it's brilliant. Happy Gilmore's now playing on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. I mean, he's up there he's hitting. I tweeted out not too long ago that Bryson DeChambeau's out here showing Phil what bombs actually look like.
Yeah, it's crazy. They said last week that he messed up his shot tracks or whatever the stats are, because I guess any shot that's within 30 yards of the green counts as an approach shot. And he had like 7 drives that got within 30 yards of the green on par 4, so they were counting as bad approach shots or whatever. It's just madness. Yeah, it's hilarious.
That's crazy.
Yes, Craig, it was when EJ attempted to hobble up to the line on the one ankle in Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty painful.
I talked to Kyle about that when we bowled that Midnight Bowler Society thing they have in St. Louis. It was about a month ago or so. And we were having a few drinks, having a few laughs, and I was like, could you imagine what would have happened to your career had I beat you? Not on one leg? He goes, I know, dude. I was scared for my life.
Probably something similar to what happened to Matt Sanders.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
I don't know. I'd take you bowling on one leg over somebody throwing a backup ball, at least until then. I mean, Anthony's reset the bar, but yeah, no, okay, I get it. That's cute and all that, but you're not beating me throwing a backup ball.
Yeah.
One step and beat me, but not that. But
yeah, I have to go practice my Richie Allen, off the wrong foot for you, Barnes.
Yeah, that's.
So have you got any plans to bowl anything, EJ?
Well, we have tour finals next weekend in Jupiter.
Oh, okay, cool. We haven't. There hasn't really been that much press about that recently, so I didn't really know what the deal was.
They have that and then the King of the Hill thing immediately following the days after that. So I'm leaving here Sunday, going to go home. Probably going to practice a couple of times at home and then head to Florida.
Okay, cool. So are you gonna take your new home behind you?
No, there's actually a guy that I know from Fort Wayne, like 30 minutes from me, that lives 9 minutes from the bowling center. And,
okay, that's cool.
And it's the same one we did the strike derby and stuff in. So I'm just going to stay at his house again. We were going to pull it down there when the Lucy was still happening, because we were just going to stay in Florida a couple extra days and then pull it over to Houston. But since the Lucy got canceled, we're just going to drive it home and then drive to Florida.
Okay. Good
Talk
plan.
about this thing you got now. You've gone back old school. This is like it was when I came on tour, and there's like 10 guys had their own mobile homes out there.
Yeah. So Natalie spent a lot of time talking to Kirk and Mary, and there's a lot of financial benefits to having it. I'm already incorporated, so being able to write it off for the business and stuff like that, it's going to save me a ton of money that way. We can travel around in it and not have to stay in hotels, which will save money. And then the biggest thing is just having a piece of home, a bed that you sleep in every day. Don't have to pack and unpack your clothes all the time. You can make meals inside. You don't have to eat out all the time. So there's a lot of benefits to it. The drawback is you have to take care of it. You have to pull it around. But as you guys know, I don't mind driving. So that's the easy part of it for me. But yeah, we're pretty excited. We got I'll show you guys. We got there's a new truck. Had to get a new truck to pull it with, and we've got a 42-footer total length. So we've got plenty of room for us.
And did this have the added benefit that you that you don't now have to tag Jackie and your brother around as well?
Yeah, that is part of the reason why we wanted to get something, so that way we could have our own space. We did just get married, so we wanted to have our own space while we're on the road. And it's not that people won't stay in it from time to time, but majority of the time it's just going to be us two.
Yeah, exactly. You get to control it. No, I understand that completely.
Exactly.
Very good. So what's next for you? Do you have anything on your schedule?
Just the tour finals next week and King of the Hill, and then
Oh yeah, that
we have that, and then nothing else as far as I know until we bowl nationals. We're supposed to bowl nationals, I think, somewhere around September 17th or something like that, and then the Weber Cup. So that's the only thing that's permanently on the schedule right now. As we know, the situation with the PBA tour has been so fluid, and we don't know exactly what's going on. We still don't have a schedule. So until I get one.
Just stop you right there. We do have one thing on the schedule. PBA League got scheduled.
Yeah.
I
forgot about
my wife wants to murder someone. They picked we had a 2-week window where they couldn't pick, and of course they picked it right when her 40th birthday trip to Hawaii is. So I'm going to fly to Hawaii a few days later and miss her birthday and all those good things that are going to be expensive for me.
Yeah. So other than those events, I don't have anything scheduled except for some golf.
So EJ, Frank is one of our regular viewers, and he was quite disappointed that you were going to be one of the guests because he couldn't find a way to troll you, because he spends a lot of time trolling AAJJ. Well, this was his best attempt. I must admit, he said, you can't become the GOAT Walter Ray just by getting an RV.
Well, I'm trying. I'm trying every avenue I possibly can to get there. So I figured he did it. It's good enough for him, so I'll do it too.
To be fair, if you can afford one, you're on your way. So,
well, yeah. Well, the only reason he can't troll me is because Natalie controls me. It keeps me straight, so that way nobody can control me. So
JC Quintana says, who is your personal kryptonite as a bowler to bowl against? Who's the guy who has your number at the minute?
I would have to say probably Kyle Troop. I feel like I've bowled him a few times, and I don't think I've beat him yet.
That's not a good one. That's not a good one to have there, because he's gonna.
Yeah.
That's fine. He can talk all he wants. I don't care. But it's like with Belmo, we've gone back and forth. He's beat me more times than I beat him. Simo's beat me a couple of times. So, but as far as I can remember, I don't remember beating Kyle yet.
Yeah, it's I guess you're his Super Bowl.
I guess.
I mean, like Eli Manning beat Tom Brady twice.
That's because he's better.
Trying to help you out there, EJ. Oh yeah, Greg Young had a pretty good one. EJ can afford an RV. I might be able to get a tent.
You're young, Greg. You'll get there.
Well, the good news is Cameron can only afford the sleeping bag, so.
Yeah, but his dad might be able to help him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you put Greg and Cam together, then they got the whole shebang. They got a sleeping bag and a tent. But just one sleeping bag, though. They got to share.
We're gonna have to share.
I don't even know they make sleeping bags long enough for those two.
Well, that's also true. You might be wrong. They may not be able to afford it. You gotta get a special made one.
So there's been they picked the two ladies teams this week, and that I guess I was a little surprised that it was complete chalk. They just picked the top 10. I don't know that would even be possible to do with the guys. If we had 50, pick 50 guys, the chance of us not picking one outside of the top 50 is like almost zero. Brad Miller and Chris were having a heated discussion last night over whether it should be basically you just qualify into the league and that's that, rather than like it being like more people to pick from. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts?
Well, I've been reading that, and Natalie and I actually talked about it a little bit last night. And the thing that I came up with that I would like to see, because we've had the top 75 is eligible, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the way I would like to see it is if they do like the 2-year rolling points or whatever for that event, you have to be in the top 75 to even be eligible, to even be kept on a team. So that's the kind of the thing that we came up with. You still earn the right, but you may or may not get picked. So
yeah, I mean, I just think the more that you force the teams to only be like, I agree with you on that point. I just think Brad's idea of like really forcing it down even more. It's like, well, if you don't have somebody who fits your team, like if you've already got 2 lefties and the last guy left is a lefty, you don't want 3 lefties on the one team.
Right.
Just as an extreme example.
Right. And the only thing I can kind of think of like where maybe Brad's mind is going is something like what they do for the Ryder Cup and President's Cup is the top so many are guaranteed on the team and then they pick more. So maybe there's some way of a formula they could use of the top so many. If you're in the top so many points, you are automatically going to be on a team. These people will be on a team no matter what. And then if it's the top 25, then you use the next 50 to pick from. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I agree.
That wouldn't address what Brad was talking about, but yeah, I mean, we pretty much did that the year before with the top 40 were in, and then the guys that got down to the end, you say you end up with some guys that maybe just not good fits for your team.
Right.
And I made an example, obviously, of Stu's team with you have 3 guys that hook it a lot and a left-hander throws urethane. Well, several of the left-handers don't like following that urethane, and guys that throw it straight wouldn't be a very good match with that team, generally speaking. Right. And so,
yeah, it's definitely an awkward, contentious issue. I would just like to see us find a solution that we like and just stick with it, because like someone like Frankie, for example, and he isn't necessarily vocal about these things, but in the last couple of years, with all of the changing back and forth over what they use, like several times he's got screwed out of like some of these events. So like last year, he was 44th. He had a bad season, but he didn't get kept on his team. And then this year, well, he wasn't that much better in the last 12 months. And he was the first pick of the whole thing. So like he was only just outside and he can't get chosen. Now this year, it's 75 people. Then there's other things where like some years it's cash and some years it's points. And it's just, I don't know. It'd be better.
I think it should be points, because then it eliminates the like the World Championships, Belmont wins $150,000. Well, that sets you up for 2 years. And it shouldn't be based off of one event. So I think it 100% should be points. And I think it should be the way that golf does their world ranking, and it should be a 2-year rolling points list.
Mm-hmm. I guess the other issue for us is we have, again, another issue with consistency over, like, we don't necessarily have the events close to the same spots. And, like, when you have the 2-year rolling list, it's a little awkward because I guess even if the events are in a different spot, they're not going to roll off a major before that major gets played again.
Right. I mean, I guess the only way to do that, since we don't have consistency, is set an amount of events, whether it's 40 or 50 events.
Yeah.
And when the next one comes, the previous one drops off. So you can have it at a 40 or 50 event rather than
40 or
a
50
2-year,
events
which is close.
actually 4 years. So it's going to have to be a little shorter than that. But
I completely see your point. Yeah, we just need to find. I feel like it just gets a little confusing when we just move the goalpost constantly over what. So then you're having an argument, but like by next year we might be doing almost what Brad says anyway.
Right.
And the thing that really sucks is when that decision's made when we're 3/4 of the way into the season. And obviously for the league, I mean, it's not a case of, oh man, I'd have tried harder if I'd have known the top 40 made it, not the top 50. I mean, like, realistically, that's not a reasonable point. But at the same time, it still sucks when it just, like, changes so much.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with consistency. Yeah. It needs to get better.
Yeah, and it's always moved all over the place, the league. We've had so many different things. We had the salaries one year, then the next year then we redrafted, and then we there's all kinds of stuff. But who's it seems like amongst our fans, the biggest snub, I guess, would have been Kelly Kulick. Who did you
find it hard to use
pick that did not get picked?
Sorry, I said I find it hard to say snubbed when
exactly
they pick the top 10.
You're right.
It's a bit awkward. Like, Lucas had an article about it, and I was like,
right.
This seems like you're just creating content because you haven't got anything else to write about.
Yeah, I mean, who did you think would get reached for? I guess it's probably would have been a better way.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most obvious one
was hard to pull out anybody.
Yeah, I think there's a couple that comes to mind initially. I mean, obviously Kelly's one, Diana is one. I think Verity didn't get picked either, right?
Yeah, she was like in the mid-20s though.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all really good players, and they, you have off seasons. They're still top 10 players for sure, but it is what it is. I guess they picked the 10 at this current time most deserving of being on the teams at this current juncture.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be somebody left out, no matter what we do.
Oh, sorry. I really feel like, from a personal point of view, I would like to see us just have the PBA League as something that we did almost every week, like as part of the tour stops. Not to replace tournaments, but to have, like, maybe practice day or whatever. We have, like, after practice day, we have, after the practice is done, like maybe we practice in the morning, and then in the afternoon we have, like PBA League competition to expose more of the country to it. And allow the teams to have, like, home matches,
Right.
I think that's a way to engage the audience, and that would be an easy one. Like, for example, if say Chris's team, there isn't a bowling center in Silver Lake, and Chris Hardwick's long gone. Yeah. If Silver Lake Atom Splitters became the Indianapolis Atom Splitters, just to pick a team of somewhere we go all the time. When we went to Indy's a pretty good sports town. I'm pretty sure that, like, outside of maybe you and Ronnie, if they see a team that says Indianapolis, they would immediately be, like, educated, this is your team to cheer for. So unless, like, they really hated one of the guys, like, that would become the team. Yeah. But that would become the team that they would cheer for. And then you'd have opportunities. And I think it would also be good because it would be something else we could market. And and then maybe we could have, like, just like a prize fund for the league where, maybe only the top 4 or 5 teams made the TV show. but at least it was earned throughout the year rather than like a one-ball roll-off.
You can have matches throughout the year to
yeah, I agree with that 100%. That
so
we definitely need to be going into the cities that our teams are representing, so that people do have something to cheer for. You know, bowling in all these different cities, so people can get attached to the team, like you said, get educated about the team, and then it gets them, I think, more involved with those particular players, and then they may follow them individually a little bit more as well.
Yeah, I mean, like another example of a team where I know that they're bowling crazy. Like if we had a team out of Columbus, like Wayne, like I know personally because our group never seems to make the step ladder at the TOC except Jesper. So we always end up watching the TOC in the bar in Columbus because it nearly always goes TOC and then we go down to Columbus. So we go down and we have a really good time with the people in Columbus, and like our group is like fairly popular in Columbus because we're always hanging out there, you know, watching the TV. Like mainly because we turn up and Wayne's got about 4 frames of league left and we start like abusing him from the back and they think it's brilliant. So yeah, the one time we turned up, I think he had the front 9 and he missed. And me and Dom were at the back and we were both like, yes! And then all of his teammates turned around and they're like, woo!
Crystal Michael wants to know, how do you do that with the women bowlers? They'd be forced to travel each week.
Crickets.
Well, maybe that's why you make thought out decisions. But
I did get Chris. Maria did point something out to me. There are at least 6. I think Maria told me there was 6 PBA members. So just a heads up.
Out of that group?
Well, out of the bowlers who were the ladies, yeah, because Clara was still a member, Maria was a member, Danielle, Liz, Kelly. I can't remember. There was a couple. I think Missy might still be a member also. So that was only in the interest of fairness. Being
well, I know, they do. There are several of them that do bowl different events, but they're not on tour all year long, and so
no. It's just we had actually. I just wanted to correct it because we had actually said that only one of them was a PBA member or 2 of them.
And it's a good point that with the women's teams, it would significantly reduce the chances of what we're talking about of it expanding into a year-long thing, at least with them included. So, unless they're planning on bowling the tour stops.
Yeah.
So,
more the merrier.
There you go.
Kendall says perhaps a PBA league versus PWBA league challenge. Well, yeah, sure. We've got that right now.
It appears.
Richard Berry, the women would get great flight points. Danielle's got pretty good flyer points already. She bowls a lot. Like she flies a lot.
Yep. Everywhere.
You guys said Indy and Reno, they could have teams. Columbus would be a great place to have a team.
Yeah. I mean, like for as much as you say, I mean, Oklahoma would be another place you could have a team as well. We go there and they've
been a great sponsor. So
multiple events down there. So
yeah, Rick, we know. Go away. All
right. Oh dear. Well, so another thing that I've been noticing while the break's been on, you know, people have been getting bored. Josh has been putting his head above the parapet, and he's been throwing a little shade at you and EJ. I think he said something like, I think it was when the Strike Derby was on. Wow, maybe they should bowl like that in the PBA league. At least they'd strike.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't disagree with him either.
Oh, dear.
Just tell me.
Yeah.
If they make that league an extra frame title, you'll never miss again.
No, I'll be bowling for the title every single time, 100%. I'm still well on my way to. It's Flow Bowling now, but I'm gonna create the Flow Bowling Hall of Fame, and I think I need about 2 or 3 more wins, or 4 maybe.
It rings better as the extra frame Hall of Fame. So, but
it does.
Hey, the Extra Frame Hall of Fame brought to you by Flo Boland.
Yeah,
And paid too, EJ Tackett.
exactly. Every time they add some money into one of those deals, I pretty much make the show. So
Yeah.
I think we should stop bowling on TV and just be on Flow Bowling all the time.
Oh dear.
Hey,
Well,
just so you know, the Weber Cup's not really shown in the U.S. much, so you're in. It's kind of the same thing.
Okay.
yeah, it's on the zone.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. Whoop. Sorry, we're still the same thing. EJ, if you had a woman partner, who would you pick?
well, I think that's pretty easy.
It's not your wife.
Liz Johnson.
Okay.
We won the Lucy a couple years ago. So,
And then this year, you're actually bowling with Danielle, supposedly.
yeah. So what happened there was we were supposed to go to that event that was in Tasmania. I was going and Danielle was going as well. And Simo asked me if he could bowl with Liz this year since he normally bowls with Danielle. And we're like, yeah, that's fine. And then next year we'll switch back and bowl our normal partners. Well, they had already sent their entry in. And when we were at the World Series, Danielle was like, hey, this virus thing, they may cancel the Tasmania thing. And I was like, okay, you're right. So she got us a spot into the Lucy. So she's like, instead of just trying to figure it out, we'll just bowl with each other this year and figure it out next year. I said, okay, that's fine. So that's how that came about.
It's not like you're being inconvenienced too badly there, is it? Going from Liz Johnson to Danielle McCune.
Yeah, hang in there.
Right, and that's we talked about that, and it's like, yeah, I'm not really losing much, and Simo's not losing anything either. So we're all still, got good partners and good chances to win. I told Danielle, I said, we're going to come in here, win this thing, and go 1-0, and then we'll go back to other partners.
That's funny.
So 10th frame, another question. 10th frame, you to strike. Who would you pick from the past and from the present?
Oh, man. There's so many good players to choose from. I mean, from past and present currently, I mean, you got to pick somebody like Walter, Pete, Norm. Like, those are the three that come to my mind immediately. And then you have guys like Belmo, Simo. I mean, he's not scared to throw it. I think I would put myself in the category as well. But there's a lot of players. It's hard to pick one of them. But there's definitely a list that I would choose from.
Who do you got, Stu?
Who do I got?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't take past Chris Barnes, but I might take present Chris Barnes.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's nice of you.
He's been pretty good recently.
They don't get as many opportunities as they used to. So the other way, I should be more nervous now because I don't get as many chances.
But just a quick sidebar while Chris is thinking of his answer. So a few weeks ago, probably right at the start of the pandemic, actually, Jacob posted the video of when Chris threw 3 in the 10th to beat him to win. And Jacob wrote, this is the best 10th frame I've ever seen, or something like that. Way to go, Barney, so clutch. And Belmo nipped in the comments and put up the video of him throwing the strike to beat him in the World Championships. He goes, you're right, Jacob. You were on the lane to see the greatest 10th frame ever. It just wasn't that one. And then shows a video of him throwing the strike for the 11th major.
Belmo gets some good ones in every now and then.
Belmo's Twitter is the only entertaining thing to watch. I have no interest in following him on Instagram or Facebook.
I agree
He's got
with
less
that.
followers on Twitter, so he doesn't care what people think, and he's just plowing in. So what's your answer, Chris?
Going back, actually, they always say that Mike Albee. Now, he was only out there a little bit, but they said for the money. That's what Baker says all the time. For the money, he had it. He was always good for it. He was the guy that was super clutch. I think
he wasn't out there long. And
I grew up watching that I would have assumed.
Yeah.
Tommy, for a long time, was that guy when I first came out there. And then Walter, Walter got to where his bad shot was 9. I mean, he was going to hit the pocket on that shot all the time, whether it struck or not. You didn't know, but
except that one time at band camp in Reno.
Link. And then he got 8.
There is that. There is that.
So, Frank coming in off the top rope for Bill. Bill might be Hall of Fame, Lucy Hall of Fame eligible.
That's true. He's. I mean, they are on Flow Bowling, so he might catch me in just Lucy events.
Lee Sant from Bowl Rex, one of your sponsors, EJ.
Yep.
He's
Mike Albee.
He's hot in Mike Albee, so that's
well, in Indiana boy, Mike Albee.
Yeah, one of our Oklahoma guys. Tony was an action guy. Tour success was he had some out there, but he was never afraid to the old what do you want to bowl for? Whatever makes you uncomfortable. That was a big number for him.
Yeah,
he was comfortable for a long time, well before the other guy was.
Although when we were just talking about that for the wheat, I do have to always remember the time we bowled the PBA league and Tommy bowled a 10 frame, and I think he struck a couple of times in the 10 frame, and then it was time for the roll off, and Tommy goes to walk forward, and Norm just puts his hand on his chest, and he goes. And then goes up and strikes. And he was like in the 2-hole or something. So he had bowled for about 20 minutes. And like that's always the awkward situation, like in those PBA league roll-offs. It's like if it's not the anchor or the 4th guy, that guy hasn't bowled in like forever.
Yeah.
Like so it's really difficult to pick anybody else. Everybody's like, oh, I can't believe you picked that guy to throw the shot. Well,
and you've doubled down because you're calling your own number.
Yeah, but he just went.
Yep, I got this, and then bang.
Yeah, I mean it's one thing telling telling a rookie, yeah, hit the bricks, but you go up to Tommy Jones and you go, I got you, bro.
Yeah,
he's the best. So here's another question
Norm.
for you, EJ. How many venom shots do you think you've drilled?
I don't know. A lot. It's got to be. It's got to be close to that. I don't drill as many. Probably 100. Close to 100. It's got to be.
For those of you who don't know, that's the purple one. So
yeah. The purple one.
When did they bring that ball out? Like
the first event was the show I made the Masters in 2014.
So there you go.
7 years ago almost.
Yeah. Yeah. 6.
Yeah, it's hanging tough. The IQ Tour.
Yeah.
Ways behind the high road, but hanging tough with the IQ Tour.
Yeah, we're on our way.
I don't think you'll ever catch it because I just think that on principle, Bill will never get rid of the high road. It's like, Bill, we sold 6 last month. I don't care.
I don't care. Well, I told Brett about, I don't know, it was 1 or 2 years into the Venom Shock. I said, if the guys ever discontinue this ball, I'm quitting. I'm done. I'm out. And somehow it's still around.
I always tell who the left-handers are in our comment section. So
yeah,
Jason Parker. All right.
Oh, it's all right. Frank's starting to warm up, EJ. Didn't go well on the Masters.
I lost by Belmo crumbling the 4-9 3 times.
It's okay. Like I say, he was struggling. He's really gone in. He's had to go right to the back of his locker to find that one.
Yeah.
Usually it comes much more easily for them.
I mean, there's a lot more things that he could get me on. I'm not going to lead him to them, but
exactly. The only way to not have some shows you'd like to forget is basically just not make very many.
Right.
Yeah, it's still it's even when you bowl 180, if you don't make the show very often, it's still cool because the paycheck for making the show, no matter how bad it goes, is better than for not making
it. Yeah,
they don't take money off. Ask Tom Doherty.
Well, I always say we've done the the Clash thing a couple of times now. The first time I did the Clash, you were there, Stu. I threw 2 shots in the 10th frame, and I walked off and I said, I'm not even mad. I made more money per shot than Marshall, and he won.
I've actually told people that story. For the people who weren't there, you got really screwed with the way that worked out, where they were like,
Yeah.
You have to be over there. And me and Dom were like, we ain't going over there and standing over there. And then you walked over and did what you were supposed to. And then they had a commercial break. Then they realized something wasn't working. Then they were like, oh, no, we're going to be back in 1 minute, EJ. So you're like,
it was like,
okay, I'll stay here. Oh, no, something else broke, but you can't leave. Yeah, okay,
yeah.
Kurt, thanks.
It is what it is. I just went back and had some drinks and watched Marshall win.
Yeah,
I still have EJ's signed ball he gave me from when we were in Detroit when he won the Bear a couple of years back. So there you go.
Awesome.
There you go, Chris. What is your favorite ball to drill?
To drill? I'd rather throw them. My favorite ball to drill is none of them. I hate drilling balls, and as my as an honorary BFF, I don't drill very many of the ones I like either. They can't believe that I don't drill more balls than I do.
So which tournament was it? I think it was Coldwater, wasn't it, when we were staying on the lake?
Yeah.
We're in there and we say to Barry, remember, he's got that red ball that he uses. Which one's it called?
DCT, that thing I trapped
DCT,
right? Oh, yeah.
So Dom says to him, man, that DCT is awesome. How many of those have you drilled? Chris goes, well, I drilled one last week, but I don't really like it. And Dom goes, oh, yeah, how many times has that happened? He goes, never. That's the first one that I drilled after my first one. And Dom just looked at him for about a minute without even saying anything. He goes, you're right. You should never meet your heroes. So yeah, we've here's another one of our usual trolls. William, why'd you have to bring in guests I can't roast? Bring back AAJJ. He had AJ on such tilt that AJ went back through and responded to every single one of his comments.
Well, to be fair to William, to be unfair to William, it's not hard to get AJ on tilt still.
But the one that I really enjoyed was the fact that William said something that AJ's tried but probably won't try again, and it said winning a title. and AJ clicked on that comment and said, I guess you say the same about diets.
Yeah.
Damn, AJ.
Yeah, because when AJ did that with you guys, he was at my house.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
And and I went we have a little office. Natalie was working. I went in the office and I turned it on. I was watching, and I was rolling on the floor because you guys were getting into him and everybody was commenting, getting into him. Oh man, it was the greatest time of my life.
Yeah, I mean,
He's been missing in action. He evidently maybe he doesn't get up in time for this 10 a.m. show because he hasn't commented in a while, and that's really not like him.
I'll be honest, we're missing him. We might bring him back on. We didn't realize that the show would be so popular because for a long time we wouldn't let him come on because he didn't have a title. But then it turned out that our fans just adore AJJ.
Yeah. Well, we made him come on with Andrew because Andrew had a title, so he could share one.
Well, what you should do is when you bring him back on is bring in Kyle Sherman because AJ was getting on Kyle about only having half a title. I said, well, you might want to look in the mirror because he's got a half more than you do.
Yeah, and you gave it to him. You guys were ahead.
Yeah.
They were in third, lost, and still won the tournament. I don't think that's ever happened before and will ever happen again.
No, like AJ gave it away, and Prather, I was standing there watching him, and he just left a 2-8 and just went up and shot it and whiffed, and I'm like sitting here like this, bro, if you make this spare, you win.
So Ryan says Baker doubles followed by best ball golf. Subtract the golf scores from the bowling scores. EJ's my partner.
I think that'd be a good one for me and Ronnie to do.
I'm not sure you could cover Ronnie.
Huh?
I'm not sure you could cover Ronnie's bowling.
Oh yeah, it's fine. I can strike every time. All I need from him is strike once. He can do that.
Yeah, but that assumes that he does it 210. Me and Ronnie haven't got a game this season without a 210.
That's true. I just bowled with him in a doubles tournament in Fort Wayne, and you're right.
I looked at my stats from the World Series, and after after the obvious ones like 10-pin and 4-pin and whatever, my most common leave after that was all of them because I threw it in the gutter so many times. And then after that, every single leave that I had involved the 2-pin. I left like the 210 more often than I left the 3-6-10. That's not good.
No.
The guy really only has a quarter of a title because Amanda carried him. So
that's still more than AJ has.
It is. William Gannum says if AJ can be on this show without a title, bring me on the show with someone who has a title. Well, you have to have made a show, William. So
well, he's made our show.
Fair enough.
This is a good one. AAJJ is still under his thunder blankie.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I'm assuming this means who is the other best golfer?
Well, it's Ronnie.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing for money, then it's Tommy. Because Tommy is like a 3, and he's giving himself 7 aside every time.
Well, you mean Fairbat? Yeah. No kidding. Fairbat? Yeah. Fairbat Tommy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fairbat Tommy. He's like, dude, I'm a 5. I'm like, bro, you play golf every single day. You're not a 5.
He's the perfect guy because you watch his swing, you go, I mean, it's okay.
It's
and
not
then
that great.
Dip and it's all handsy and loopy, and when he moves all over, and you go,
Yeah.
But he keeps getting close. And then he
what'd
then
you shoot,
can really
Tommy?
roll it.
71.
Yeah.
The 7 shot 71 on a course's rating is 73.
So since you're incorporated, you're probably making a little bit of money on unemployment. Tommy's making more money by being off tour as well right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got a good matchup there, I think. So.
Yeah, I know. He just put a simulator in his garage. I don't know if you saw that or not, or if he told you.
He told me he was going to, but yeah.
He did. He
was
talking about it and sent me pictures.
Probably going to air condition the garage and everything.
Oh, probably.
It wasn't just the simulator. The simulator was the cheapest part of the whole deal.
That's where he's just different. I'd put an AC to help keep blowing balls at the right temperature and be able to drill balls and stuff. Tommy did just for a side, his sideshow. So
yeah.
How would you fare on the island hole at TPC?
I think it'd be fine. It's just a wedge.
Yeah.
You'd have been proud of me, EJ. I had a round of golf the other day for the first time in about 15 years. Smooth book 13.
Yeah.
Well, okay. That's not bad for the first time in 15 years.
Well, I had a couple of holes where I didn't make it past the ladies' tee, so that was good.
I've seen you bowl, so I can't expect you to have a good follow through in golf neither. So.
No.
How to tell someone relies on speed? From what I tell, when they don't have any front teeth. But.
Oh my
God. Oh, here's a technical question for you. You asked for it.
Well, yeah.
Correct temperature for balls.
I don't know, because all the old Columbia ones I had all cracked anyway, so.
Yeah, I don't know that I just think it's one of about 1,000 things, and the more things that you can get to be reasonable.
Yeah. When I'm drilling, it's somewhere short of sweaty. That's where I prefer the temperature at.
I've opened myself up for it here. God. 113, that's only 12 more than EJ's playing weight. Stu short arms the clubs as well. EJ, if you like good barbecue and ribs, go eat at Boss Hogs there in Pigeon Forge. Also, take Natalie to a place across the street called Goats on the Roof. They are both on Weir's Valley Road. So there you go.
I know exactly where those are. We drive by them almost every day when we go out to Cades Cove, the national park that's out here, and we drive down Weir's Valley all the time. I've seen them. I've never stopped at that barbecue spot, but maybe we'll have to.
There you go. Got you.
And Daniel Sharp soon leaving our show to go to somewhere else, I guess. Cool.
To quote Steve Miller, watch the other show.
Yeah, go on the other tour. There you go.
Because they're dropping like flies. There's no Kyle and Nate show. Outlasted them. There's no Frankie show. Outlasted them. There's no Inside Bowling show. Outlasted them.
It's bad when we're the option.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing left is the USBC show. But I mean,
he says Wes ain't here. Well, if you can find him, you let us know, okay?
Well, I'll go to Fort Wayne and find him because he lives up there now.
there you
It
go.
was funny. Sarah was talking to me one day, and she's like, "Well, how come you didn't never come see us?" I'm like, "I didn't even know you lived here until May." She's like, "Well, you could have just, called." I'm like, "Man, I was on tour with the guy for 3 months, and he didn't say a word. How is this my fault?"
What happened to Frankie's show? I think they ran out of alcohol.
I think that
That's a
Sloan.
rookie mistake and unprepared.
I think that Sloan was bored of it after week 2, and Frankie dug in. And then when Frankie got bored of it, I kept suggesting guests for him that he couldn't really deny was an okay idea. So Frankie kept doing it, and then eventually I didn't suggest something. Frankie goes, "We're missing this week." No shit, Frankie. It's Thursday afternoon, and you haven't advertised it. And then, so I think that Frankie's actually going to turn it into the happy hour with Frankie, which is what it was basically anyway, because nobody knows who Sloan is. So I think he's actually going to do it at the bowling center. He's got himself a tripod and everything. I don't think he's going to threaten Barnes and the Tuesday afternoon action, which is currently Facebook's the #1 show on Facebook.
I don't get it, but yeah, I think this week was people didn't really show up. We had a couple of things happen, and so instead of having 8 or 10, it ended up being 4, and one of them was my AC guy, who he doesn't really bowl, and he just I basically sponsored him because I had an AC issue this week, so he came out in the deal okay, but yeah.
Is that the #1 Barnes move ever? Invite the AC guy down to bowl for money.
Get his money back.
We couldn't bowl for enough. I couldn't possibly. It's funny though.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
He does it now without even thinking about it. He's like, I'm going to call my AC guy. I just talked to him this week. I don't remember why.
It's just on autopilot.
Way too much.
Yeah. Just.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, and a quick change of subject. Segue. Hey, Mom. All right.
Oh dear. All right. Well, that's definitely the highlight of the show so far, I think. Are we gonna let EJ go with his 10 frames?
Yeah. Well, we gotta. Yeah. We'll go 10 frames with EJ here. This. Now we gotta have.
Is it going to be on Flow Bowling? Because that's the only way I can do well.
If it's good enough, Lucas will probably not share it, would be my guess. So.
Just a second. No, Jacob. Bowling didn't start in 2018.
Ha!
Hey, we can go back to regular film footage now.
Before we go, though, he's waiting to see his plumber on the next show. I like it.
Well, William's saying he needs to find a way to make it up for the Tuesday action. Hey, you bring your cash, more the merrier, William.
There you go. Come on up. Come on up. Lots of fish.
I'm
All right.
surprised we haven't seen. I'm surprised we haven't seen Barnes' realtor on that show yet. I'm sure he paid him a ton of money.
Actually, my realtor actually was Susie Reichley, the Team USA coach. She's retired. I can't get her to bowl. So.
Ah.
But Fleming might be the next
on
one.
her.
He's retired now, so we'll see if we can get him out there. All right, 10 frames. We'll start with something. What accomplishment are you most proud of?
Probably my player of the year.
Your pet peeve?
Slow bowling and people leaving their bags in the settee and not taking them with them.
Man, it's like I'm a fat version of you.
Those are two things get on my nerves more than anything.
Man,
Brett
that thing drives me. Yeah.
Brett and Rob Gotchell always used to cheer me when I just used to pick the bags up and like just throw them. Like I go to a person in the crowd, hey, go and put this bag in the bar. Is it yours?
Yeah, well,
no.
I hide them all the time. If there's bleachers, I throw them as far under the bleacher as possible so that they have to crawl under there to get it. You know, put it by the front door, 30 lanes away from where they left it.
For reference, if you find one of my bags there, it's probably because I'm not coming back for them ever. So you can throw them wherever you want. They're done. They're done.
Well, knowing that, every time I see it now, I'm just gonna go hand it to a fan and say, "Here, these
Go
are
for
yours now." Are these yours? No, they're Stu's.
What scares you?
What scares me?
Yeah.
Snakes. I don't like snakes.
I thought you were about to say going to sleep after you'd pissed Natalie off.
I haven't done that yet, so I don't know if that's scary or not. I'm sure it is because she'll beat me up.
Is she good with knives? Yeah. Just.
Yes, she is. She does the majority of the cooking, so yes, she's very good with knives.
Best trash talker.
Best trash talker. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty good sometimes, but I'm definitely not the best. I feel like you guys are probably up there pretty high. Belmo gets in there quite a bit every now and then, especially with me.
Belmo only does it to people who will appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's true. You have to be able to get it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I give it back. That's for sure.
That was the best thing about Chris for when we all came on tour. Chris was loving it because now he could say things that like we all understood. So we'd be laughing, and the person he'd said it to would be like, "What?"
Yeah, one thing Belmo always got with me, like he goes, "Mate, I have more majors than you have titles," and then that's when the next year after that happened is when I won Player of the Year. I won 8 titles pretty quick, and now he's almost caught back up with me again. So I need to start winning again.
Man, it's crazy.
Our show is taking on a new level. Now my mom is trolling the people. I've got a pet ball python you can have, EJ.
No, I'm good.
No,
you can keep it in there, over there. I'll stay over here.
It's named Boot, so it's working its way into a future.
Yeah.
The craziest rumor you've heard about yourself?
I don't know if I've heard any rumors about myself that people have told me. Everything everybody's ever told me has always been true, so I don't know if it's actually a rumor.
See, here's Frank. I've been saying this for a while. This is my theory on it. Why would you take Player of the Year from Belmo? Every time someone does that, he comes back and wins 2 or 3 majors. Just give him the award and not worry about it. I agree. Just be like, Belmo, if that's all you're worried about, just take it. It's not that big a deal. But, yeah. Andrew did it.
Yeah.
You did it. Never worked out good for any of us.
Yep. Nope.
How many miles do you think you've driven so far?
Actually, I was just talking to my pappy about this the other day because my pappy used to be a truck driver, and we figure he's driven about 5 million miles in his life.
Oh my God.
I would say since I've been on tour, It's got to be somewhere between 300,000 and 400,000 miles.
That's a lot already.
Along those lines.
You'd be proud of me, EJ. I just went past 60,000. Like in
well, the truck that I bought last year, I bought with 14 miles on it. When I traded in on this new one, it had 56,000 at just over a year. So
crazy.
I'm driving a lot more now because we have more, week to week stops.
Yeah.
And so the last couple of years I've been about 50,000 a year.
Yeah, I figured I had about 600,000 in my life, but the last 10 or 12, we don't really drive anymore, so it's really not that big a deal anymore.
Right.
And he lives in Texas, where going to the grocery store is still like 50 miles. It feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
yeah, I definitely have. I think I have about 2 or 3 times driving miles than I have flight miles at this point.
Yeah, on the other hand, I do have 2.5 million flight miles. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine driving all that twice.
No.
PA probably did.
Yeah, he made a run at it.
Probably. Yeah.
The most rebellious thing you did as a teenager last year.
The most rebellious thing I did as a teenager. I tell you what, I was really scared of my dad. So I didn't do much. It was probably maybe driving to Fort Wayne and not telling him, which is 30 minutes away.
You are truly a daredevil.
So I definitely did more stuff after I turned 21. That's for sure.
All right. Well, let's hear that then.
What's that?
Yeah. What's the worst thing you did after turning 21?
We're not going to say on here. That one stays behind closed doors.
This isn't that. This is not
behind
cold.
the PBA's closed
the
doors.
fifth year. Yeah. All right. Dumbest way you've hurt yourself.
Dumbest way I've hurt myself. I've done a lot of dumb ways. I would say probably the dumbest one was when I rolled my ankle last year. I was walking. I know it's not a dumb way to do it, but it was dumb that it happened. I was walking out of the gas station, had a real high curb, and I just wasn't paying attention. Stepped off, and my foot went whoop. Looks like that. And that's why I was limping around at the Austin thing. It's just, I don't know, stupid.
Frank coming in, losing.
Yeah, Frank, that is dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that.
Just so you know, I'm not judging. I have a few of those. So.
To be fair,
hey,
I
won it the next year. I came back.
And I didn't think there was any way it wasn't going to happen from watching the show. Gary had like a trough where his ball, it didn't matter if he hit the right-hand side of the trough or the left-hand side of the trough, it was a strike. So, yeah, madness.
Bailey and Eiley saying hi, Uncle EJ.
I think he might have lost his sound.
Uh-oh.
He ran out of battery. He ran out of battery.
Are you back?
I'm sorry, guys. I lost my audio somehow.
Oh, well. Can
I
you
can't
still
hear
hear
you
it?
anymore. Yeah, I don't do sign language either.
Okay. Well,
we got through 8 frames. We had a couple of things. Natalie was probably going to be unhappy with your next answer anyway. So.
All right. Well, that was pretty good, though, given our recent times. So we'll remove EJ and we'll finish the show off. Thanks, mate. See you later.
Thanks, EJ.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was a shame. But pretty good show overall. We had a pretty good connection the whole way through, even though EJ was sat in the bush. So that was good.
Pigeon Forge. It sounds like a lot like the Ozarks, go-karts and putt-putt and restaurants and live shows and those kind of things. So I guess it's Dolly Parton basically built the place. So
Okay, cool.
kind of a cool place. So, well, once again, support our sponsors. I don't think there's a whole lot to bowl this weekend. So,
yeah, I've got a little thing in Austin. If you want something to entertain yourself, Chris, you should come down. They make the lanes nearly impossible. We're bowling on, I think, one of the US Open patterns. But in Mel's at the low end, they could put down something that was a challenge pattern and it would be pretty difficult. So, yeah.
he doesn't know what happened. He's just right back in. So.
Okay.
Wow.
No, Friday, Chris. There we go. Oklahoma versus Texas. The store will be open.
Well, it will be. I think it'll probably be on somewhere. I'm not sure what will. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what will be streamed on. If nothing else, it may be on my page. You never know.
It might be another Chris Barnes exclusive. There we go. I'm sure it'll be on in many places, though. But yeah, look out on my page. I've got some uncut videos that went up today and probably tomorrow with the nuclear cell and the axiom. Next week, we've got more of the same. Yeah, there it is. Boom, boom. I have to apologize. I didn't figure out the winners yet because, much to my surprise, there was 670 guesses, I think it was in the end. And my phone didn't really like searching through, so I've got to do it on the computer. So
when we did it, it'll only go back so far, and then you can't see them anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to go through. I believe we have one winner of my ball. Pamela Lynch guessed 731, and for me to win. I will figure out the other one, and then I will get something together for the draw. And I'll either do that over the weekend or on Tuesday's show. We'll have a wheel or some such thing to find the solution.
All right. Well, with that, then we'll be back on Tuesday and we'll kind of recap whatever happened on the weekend, plus possibly what happened on Friday, depending on whether we win or if we lost. We probably won't talk about it much, but
Bring it up.
You will. Yeah.
Miracle on ice.
I don't know. Kelly Ray, I don't think it's thrown a shot since Longview, so who knows? So
yeah, I mean, hey, I beat Carl yesterday. Anything's possible.
All right. Well, for all you out there, once again, what was I going to do? I guess stay safe, stay healthy, and
we'll see you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday. God bless.
Take it easy.